Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. It comes to most of us eventually. We age, we get old. And as we age, one of the outward signs is that our hair, it tends to start to turn grey or white. And the chance of this happening, it increases by 10 to 20% for each decade after you turn 30. But why does this happen? Before I can answer this, we need to have a bit of a broad understanding of how our hair gets its colour. The colour of our hair is determined by a pigment called melanin. This pigment is created by specialised cells called melanocytes that are housed in our hair follicles. The natural colour of our hair is then determined by the distribution, the type, and the amount of melanin in our hair shaft. Melanin has got two main types. Eumelanin, hopefully I haven't mispronounced that too badly, that contains the darker tones. And the next word, I don't know how I'm going to pronounce this, pheomelanin, which is the lighter tones. And I know, quite likely, I just butchered both of those pronunciations. These two forms of melanin, they blend together to give us the various hair colours. Now, the hair itself, that's also quite interesting. It's made up of a protein called keratin. Now it's the same protein that makes up our nails and a large proportion of our skin. Hair, it grows really quickly, about 0.3 millimetres per day, or 1 centimetre per month. The growth of hair follows a 3-stage cycle. We start with the anagen phase. It's the active growth phase of the hair fibre. It lasts for between 2 and 7 years, and at any one time, about 85% of our hairs, they're in this phase. Next, we've got the catagen phase. It's a transitional phase where the growth of the hair slows and then eventually stops. This phase takes 10 to 20 days to complete. The final phase is the telogen phase. In this phase, there's no hair growth, and the hair strand, it will eventually fall out. This phase lasts about 100 days. After this, the cycle, it begins again with the hair follicle entering the anagen phase and hair growth beginning. As the hair is growing, the melanocyte in the follicle, it's injecting melanin pigment into the central shaft of the hair strand. And it's this injected melanin that gives the hair its colour. So now we know how hair gets its colour, we can look at why our hair goes grey or even white. White hair, that occurs when there's no melanin injected into the hair strand, so there's absolutely no pigment at all in there. Grey hair, that occurs when the amount of melanin and the blend of the different types is reduced. There's several theories about why this occurs. We're going to quickly touch on 3 of them here. Dr. Desmond Tobin from the University of Bradford, he suggested there's something called a melogenetic clock. This either slows down or stops the melanocyte activity, which then decreases the amount of melanin available. He also suggests that there's some genes that are used to regulate the production of the melanin that's produced. In 2005, some Harvard scientists, they proposed that a failure in what they termed the melanocyte stem cells, or MSC for short. These cells are used to control the production of melanin by the melanocytes. They proposed that the failure in this MSC maintenance, it can result in a breakdown of the signals that produced the hair colour. In 2009, some scientists in Europe proposed that hair follicles, they also produce small amounts of hydrogen peroxide, which may lead to the gradual loss of colour in the hair strand. And there are other factors that can impact hair greying. These include intrinsic or internal factors, things like genetic defects, hormones, body distribution and age. But there's also extrinsic or external factors, including things like the climate, pollutants, toxins and chemical exposure. All of this means the cause of grey hair, it's not fully understood, and there's many factors that can impact it, and it's something in which research is still ongoing. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Why not join in the conversation? Drop a comment down below. Let's kickstart some conversation about why people go grey. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.